Okay, is this thing on? Okay, I have another dank video for you guys today to help you guys gain LP and you know, impress some random strangers you meet in real life when you tell them your rank. I don't know, dude. All right, whatever. We're gonna talk about how you can win, or at least win fights just by pushing in lane. Okay, why is pushing so good? And let me show you kind of the highest impact, or you could say like second highest impact, top 2 impact, most impact from pushing. Okay, one is you 2v3 the gank, which is pretty insane, and the other is you go help a fight in the river. Right, something's going on, and you go help first because you have lane priority. What is lane priority? The ability to go help first, help your team first. You can move first. All right. So this is like an older clip, and I'll show you like 2 more clips. But basically, the idea is, you know, predicated based off of what your team is doing. Right. So let's say, for example, you're you can't just like run in the river whenever you want. Right. There's no fight to help in that case. Let's say your jungler is ganking top. And you run into the river and you get 2v3'd because their jungle is bot, right? And then, you know, you have no flash and you're stuck in the river. Don't do that. Okay, that's stupid, right? What I'm talking about here today is your jungler is doing something on your side of the map. Can you go help him do the thing, right? So if we're pushing, we can go first. So you notice how our wave is pushing. And if we pause here and we see our jungler is doing something right now, we gotta help unless he's Omega Doomed. And Omega Doomed is like, he died before you could blink, right? Where he's just like, yeah, he had to have trolled or something, right? Or the mid laner's like 20-0 and you just camp this fight. But basically, you know, everything's relatively even. You go first as an advantage because their bot lane has to, you know, they have to respond somehow, but they have to take the shorter path. You're just gonna run straight. Oh my god, hello, hello. You're just gonna go run straight, boom, and they have to go like this. Because what happens if they go like this? Oh, why can't they just follow you guys? Because you're sitting in a goddamn bush, right? They can't just walk up right behind you. You're just going to turn around and kill them, right? So, yeah, that's why they have to take the long path and be really safe. Which is why when people get upset, hey, your laner is in my lane. Why aren't you doing anything? It's like, bro, I cannot follow, right? So, if you're low elo and you type that in chat, now you know why some people can't follow. Is because... you know, you're gonna follow the Xerath is gonna follow the Talon into 3 bushes going bot? I don't think so. Alright, anyways, let's continue. You can go first, you should go help as long as numbers are even, or you think you have basically it's, you know, do you think you can impact the fight? And the number 1 indicator of can you impact the fight is numbers. If you have even numbers or greater, you should definitely consider. If you have lesser numbers, you probably don't want to go. And if you have greater numbers, you want to run it down to make this fight happen, right? And we want to run it down, but like not so hard that we are, you know, running it down. You want to run it down, but you don't want to like, you know, get one shot or anything like that, right? So we went to help. We got these 2 kills for our jungler. Everyone's happy. We won bot, we won mid. And even though we are sacrificing minions to do this, consider these opportunities, or these events, your opportunity to change the game. It's your opportunity to carry, right? These minions are your opportunity to carry if nothing happens. But in fact, something is happening. All right. So let me move on to more recent examples. Okay. So this is one example in game we had today. You know, I think these are all today's games, yesterday's games, whatever. I thought it was really important because, you know, we basically won immediately off these one of the early games. So you see how our Xin started red and then he did blue, right? And you know, we're pushing because we want level 2 first. And, you know, also, you know, this is a few step process, but if you can push and not die, it's generally considered very good to do so. Okay. You can't die to the gank or 2v2 or whatever. So we see that, you know, Xin did red, Xin did blue, Elise is not showing up or, you know, whatever. And then so Elise must be at our blue, right? So after we push, we have an option of hitting the tower, warding, hiding in a bush, or maybe checking our blue to see what Elise is doing. And of course, you know, messing with their jungler is going to be insanely good because, you know, you don't want them to farm or get the buff, whatever, right? So you see I was in gank top and Elise is trying to respond by doing something here. I mean, she already did red, so what is she going to do? She's going to come and try and steal blue. So we're literally immediately leaving. Why can't they follow us, right? Check it out. They literally can't follow us because they're just stuck at their tower trying to clear all this. And, you know, if they follow you, it's like really obvious. right? You go like this, they go like this. You can see them. They lose the cannon, we already won. Boom. We won the 2v2. Right? They lost cannon for no reason, and then you can just leave. You don't have to mess with the least anymore. We got something out of it, right? We got something out of pushing. That's kind of like the ultimate goal. Did you get something out of pushing? And pushing is generally considered winning because you have more options. Not always winning, but it will give you more opportunities, especially in solo queue. So here, we're just running her down. We're like, hey, let's just cut her off, you know? And, you know, Virus is not moving because it's very hard for him to decide to go, right? If he comes to this fight and he doesn't get anything, his wave is going to push all the way out, and he's going to lose a wave, which is really bad, of course, right? So only Morgana's coming, 3v3 at the start, and we're shitting on Elise. Of course we're going to win, right? And Zin can even come do a marathon or something. I doubt that's happening, but, you know, it's just 3v3 here. We're just going to kill his ass, right? So he's trying his best to get out, but, you know, he's just dead, right? And all of a sudden, we just won bot, and we won jungle, because Elise died. Yeah, and may not have won mid, but their mid laner doesn't have a jungler, so we're gonna win mid for the next like minute or minute and 30 seconds, I guess. You know, Ryze isn't scared of a gank for a while, and Akali has to be because Zin is still around, right? So by utilizing your lane priority, you can look to help things in the river or on this side of the map, right? This over here, this part over here, the non-laning part. Okay, anything around in this circle. You don't want to go like over here. That's like maybe support can do that, but let's take a look at the last one. Okay, in this picture, okay, so here's like the habit. We didn't really talk about like the habit forming here. The idea is generally speaking, in champ select, ask yourself, can I push? Because pushing is winning, right? That's step number one. Step number two is you know, once we figured out we can push and not die to a gank, make sure you're not, you know, taking really poor trades, because once you start losing HP, they're gonna be able to gank you, right? So make sure you know that you're just trying to push and not get done zone, right? And if you can't push because their lane is too strong or for whatever reason you think it's unsafe, don't push. It's fine, right? But if you can push, if you have advantage, you go for it. Two, look at the map. What is my jungler doing? What he's doing will tell you what you're supposed to do. Okay, if he's top and we're pushing, we do not want anything to happen. We are out. Okay, we are getting out. We're just trying to draw jungle pressure or something. Or if their jungle shows up top, then we try and take tech plates or invade or something, right? But, you know, we're not trying to fight if our jungler is topside, right? It's very important. Step two is we need to know what we do, you know, after we push or as we're pushing. What is my jungler doing? Okay, he's bot side, we trying to do something bot side. If he's top side, we trying to do something top side. So, but us, the bot lane, we don't do anything. Okay, this is actually part of why people say better bot lane wins, because, you know, this can impact the map quite a bit, because a bot lane mistake, everyone is dying, right? If you fuck up this push, you're giving up 2 kills, and yeah, then you guys just lose the game because you lose bot, you know, you lose the ADC role, you lose the support role, you lose the jungle role, everyone's upset, right? It's really bad. But if you win, you win AD, support, and jungle, and that translates to mid and top eventually. Well, maybe not top, but, you know, everyone's gonna run mid afterwards. So you see how immediately when something's happening, this is the part you have to pay attention to, because you can't stay bot and like try and come up with a decision. You have to like be decisive. You have to say, you have like a flow chart. Like, if my jungle does something, I'm gonna drop everything and go now. Because if you don't go now, you screwed up, because you were supposed to be here first, right? It's your job to help this fight, unless your team is inting. And if you take a look at it, this looks pretty good to me. So we need to go help, right? So we're gonna go help, and you know, we're gonna play this fight. We just play this out normally, you know. Don't worry about it. It's 3v3. You have numbers even, so don't sweat the specifics. But this is kind of the idea. Oh, okay, early TP, yo, hella spicy. But, you know, you just keep playing it out the best you can, right? The kind of point of this video is to put yourself in a winning position, or at least an even position. No, it should be winning though. It's basically advantage. How can we get advantage? It's not like a mechanics video to help you win, you know, 3v3s or anything like that. This makes it so that you are winning naturally, right? So kind of the idea is make sure, you know, well, actually how to reproduce this method in game is basically making sure, you know, can I push? Basically, do we die if we get ganked, right? That'll tell you if you can push. 2, what is my jungler doing? What does that mean for me, right? If he is doing something like invading, I have to go now. That's kind of your mindset, unless Omega doomed. And then 3, play out the fight normally, all right? Because you should have already ascertained if it's 3v4, 3v3. You should have already figured numbers before you've gone. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. And we don't really talk too much about mid ideas, but usually speaking, if their mid has priority, it's still fine to go, just as long as your mid can come, right? Eventually, right? We still got numbers here. So that's kind of the video in a nutshell, right? How can you win? By pushing, and not just by getting tower plates or poking them under tower, right? Because that's, you know, that's not always the a viable option. Think like, you know, you're playing Kjana against Kalista Thresh, you can't necessarily hit the tower, right? You're just gonna get run over. So yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think. I hope this helps, because you know, I hope you guys will understand a little bit more when people in chat are saying stuff like, oh, you should have came, right? Oh, was he right or was I right, right? Should I have gone or should I have not gone, right? So I hope this video clears things up for you guys. And the most important part I would say about making sure this becomes a part of your gameplay is making sure you're looking at the map and you're identifying what your jungler is trying to do. Okay, and the jungler is always missing. So, you know, you always have to assume, you know, I don't know where he is. So that's why your jungle is the most important piece of this, because if you try and do some crazy shit like warding dragon while your jungle is diving top, of course you guys are gonna get collapsed on by their mid and their bot lane, right? And then you just lose dragon and you lose 2 kills. Okay, so let me know what you guys think. Definitely try this out in game, and if you guys have clips you want to show me, or if you have different ideas about pushing or how to win lane or anything like that, definitely let me know in the comments below. All right, I will see you guys next time.